Hi, I am Caleb Jones, and this is Unchained CEO. Location independent income through your location independent business, of which we're going to talk about in great detail right now. Escaping the collapsing Western civilization in which we all find ourselves in, either setting up an international backup plan or moving to a completely different, much better country, and doing all these things for very little money. Today on this live stream slash podcast, I'm going to cover one of the most important topics I'm able to cover. So this is one of the most important live stream podcasts I have done in the last several months. And this is one of those things where if you do it, and most of you won't, but if you do it, it will change your life. It will set you free. It'll allow you to do everything else in your life that you want in all the other areas of your life. It will allow you to be financially stable. It'll allow you to buy whatever you want. It'll allow you, because you're location independent, it'll allow you to move to any country you want or internationalize in any way you want. Step one of Unchained CEO, of 5 flags, of internationalizing, of protecting yourself against the collapse of the West, / the AI revolution, / a bunch of other shit that's coming. Step 0 is establishing location independent income so that you're mobile. If you don't have location independent income, moving out of the country is possible, but it's a little difficult, right? So, and today I'm going to discuss a very specific figure. And if you are watching the video version of this, you can see the slide here, 10 steps to $10,000 a month. That's what this is. This is 10 steps to $10,000 a month as quickly as possible. Location independent income, where all you need is your laptop or your phone and an internet connection. And in some cases, you don't even need that. You got to start with this first. Now, I have talked about in the past about the standard Unchained CEO and Alpha Male 2, put all those you follow that content, the minimum income, which is $85,000 a year. $10,000 is a little different. I'm going to discuss why that number is a little different, actually even a little more important in a minute. In this presentation, I'm going to show you some things that I have talked about before. I'm going to show you some things that I've expanded upon that I've never talked about before. And I'm going to show you some brand new things I've never talked about before. Okay, and I will get to your questions at the end. I also have at least one. I have 2. We might only have time for one case study on someone who started business from zero and now is making money and has an infinitely scalable business. I'll show him in a few minutes. And then, I will handle your questions at the end. Okay. 10 steps to $10,000 per month as fast as possible. When I say $10,000 a month, I'm not talking about just $10,000 a month. I'm talking about $10,000 a month, location independent. I would rather make $10,000 a month location independent than $1 million a month or $100,000 a month if I was location dependent. Location independent, location dependent people are not free. Number one. Number two, location dependent people are exposed to all the problems humanity is going to experience over the next several decades. All of them. Collapse of the Western world, wars, possibly the next pandemic, which is not outside the realm of possibility here. AI complications, a bunch of that stuff. Okay, so anyway, $10,000 a month. I have mentioned this before. I'm going to go into more detail about this now. Why did I choose that as my figure and not $85,000 a year, which is about $7,000 or $8,000 a month? Is that right? You can double check my math. $85,000 a year is about $8,000-ish, $7,000-ish a month. Why am I talking about $10,000 a month? There are several reasons. Number one, top of the list. Well, actually, you know what? There's 2 big reasons. So it's not top of the list. Reason number one of the 2 very big important reasons for $10,000 a month is that, and I don't know why this is because I'm not a psychologist. There is something magical about making $10,000 a month, where when you start making $10,000 a month, your income hockey sticks up way past $10,000 a month very quickly. When you make $10,000 a month, my theory is, now let me back up. I have seen numerous people, including myself, languish at certain income levels, when you're self-employed, have your own business, when you make $4,000 a month, $5,000 a month, $6,000 a month, $7,000 a month, $8,000 a month, $9,000 a month, they stay at those income levels for a long time. I fell into this trap. I was making about $100,000 a year many, many years ago for a long time. My big goal, for those of you who know my story, when I was in my 20s, back to the 1990s, I was born poor, and blah, 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 and my big goal was $100,000 a year. This was in, early 1990s dollars when I set this goal. Okay. Actually, it was late 80s when I set this goal. It was my last year in high school. I set that goal. That was 1989 or 1989 when I turned 18. It was 18. Yeah, somewhere there. 1989, 1990. Excuse me. And I worked very hard. By the time I was 27, I hit that goal. And this was the late 90s or something. I hit that goal. And it was a big deal for me because it was like my whole 20s was focused on $100,000 a year. But then just something interesting happened is that I was stuck at $100,000 a year or so for a long time, many years. I make 100,000, then I make 102,000, the next year I make 98,000, then I make 97,000, then I make 101,000. It was always around 100,000. Like, well, fuck, I want more than this. And I couldn't do it because $100,000 is not $10,000 a month. That's about $120,000. As soon as I hit $10,000 a month in income many years ago, I didn't stay there. I immediately went to something, if I remember right, I immediately went to something like $16,000 a month. Then immediately went to like $22,000 a month. Then immediately went to like $29,000 a month. I remember $29,000 a month. I'm rich, $29,000 a month. And then way past that, I just shot past all these numbers when I hit 10,000. And I have seen several people at my income level or above experience the same damn thing. You kind of hang around when you're below 10,000. When you hit 10,000 a month, there's something that I don't know. I understand what this is. There's something that clicks in your head that tells you, this is my theory. It tells you, oh, I'm good at making a lot of money now. I'm good at this now. And your subconscious almost gives you permission to make more money. I don't know how this is, but I've seen this happen over and over and over and over again. And when I was first told this, I thought it was BS. I'm like, Caleb, 10,000 is a magical number. It really is. When you hit 10,000, you just skyrocket to higher income. I'm like, that's not true. What is special about 10,000? That's just a number that human beings made up. That's not, that's bullshit. But then I thought back on my own experience, what I just told you, and then I thought about several people I know, and I'm like, holy shit, that is right. So 10,000, 85,000 a year is good. It's good. It's fine. 10,000 is better. Because I promise you, and I mean this, and there are many of you in my audience. In fact, I've spoken to 1, 2, 3 of you in the last 48 hours with coaching and stuff who make well past $10,000 a month right now. And you guys who do make higher incomes already, think back how long you stayed at 10,000 a month. I bet you didn't. I bet you hit 10,000 and just went boom and went right to 20,000 or whatever. 10,000 is magical. So that's the first reason. Second reason. I can't give you a lot of specifics about this, but I'll give you as much as I can. I have just finished writing my new book, not the new Unchained Man. This is a new book. It's called Freedom Fortress. It's 5 flags in business stuff. It'll come out in January. I just finished recording the audiobook this weekend. And one of the things I talk about in that book is something called Fortress Income. I'll explain more in January when I can talk more about this book. The $85,000 a year figure that I recommend is for maximum happiness in terms of if you make less than $85,000 a year, you will be happier, generally speaking, if you make at least $85,000 a year. Is $85,000 a year an ideal income for what is coming? Collapse of the Western world, AI revolution, possible new wars, possible pandemics, a bunch of other collapses outside the Western world, blah, 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 blah. Is that plenty of money to take care of you? No, it's not. You're going to need a little more than that. So fortress income is a level of income beyond $85,000 a year, location independent. It doesn't count if it's location dependent, even if you make 7 or 8 figures. Don't care. You're exposed at that level, okay? Fortress income will protect you long term. And what I have discovered in terms of my life is when I am motivating myself to accomplish something or to do something, I need both what Tony Robbins used to say, the carrot and the stick. I need both the positive motivation. I want to live in a cool house. And for some of you, I want to buy a Lamborghini and I want to be like entertained. And okay, the positive, fun stuff that money gives you. But I also need, for me, negative motivation. I need fear and maybe even a little anger, internal anger at me, not at other people. I don't get angry at other people, but I do get angry at me all the time. I've said 10,000 times, this is an old Jim Rohn quote. If you are easy on yourself, life will be hard on you. If you're hard on yourself, life will be very easy on you. So I am hard on myself a lot. I yell at myself a lot, especially lately. Last year a lot, this month a lot for various things. So I want to make sure that you have enough money to take care of you regardless of what happens in the world. And we have just, as I talked about several years ago, we have entered into a dark age that's probably going to last about 30 years. Not a technological dark age, a cultural, economic, and political dark age. And no, Trump won't fix it. Go read my blog tomorrow. So anyway, $10,000 a month is much closer or much deeper in the level of what I call fortress income than the minimum happiness income of $85,000 a year. Now, as always, I'm an individualist. If I say $10,000 a year, or excuse me, a month, and you go, oh my God, I could never make that much. I'll just make $5,000 a month. I'm okay. Great. Do whatever you want. More on the fortress stuff in about 3 weeks, right after Christmas. It's a big new thing. It's a big thing. I've been working on this for a long time. $10,000 a month starts with your first client. Can you get one client that's $10,000? Yes. Is that typical? No. We have a lot of people in 90-Day Business Builder, and most of their first clients are $800 a month, $1,000 a month, $2,000 a month. We get plenty of people in Business Builder where their first client is $5,000 a month or $7,000 a month. Awesome. Still not 10, but it can happen. So don't expect to, I am not Grant Cardone. I'm not Dan Locke. I'm not Mr. Get Rich Quick. It's not how this works. Your first client is the key stepping stone to your $10,000 a month. You're probably not going to get one client that's going to pay you $10,000 a month for the rest of your life. Unlikely. Possible. Okay, you can get clients that are way more than $10,000. I have. Many Business Builder people have. But my point is, step one is that first client. In a few minutes, I'm going to show you a case study. Chad, who made $1,000 from his first client, but now he has an infinitely scalable business. One of our graduates from 90-Day Business Builder. Give an example of this. So just be aware of this. It's not like I'm going to start a business and make $10,000 right now. Now you can do it within a few months. You can do it within 6 months. You can go from 0 to 10,000 a month or close to it within 6 months. I've seen it happen. If not, maybe it takes you a year. Okay, it takes you a year. Great. So now add a year to your current age. You now make $10,000 a month for the rest of your life. And I'll say this again. When you hit 10,000 a month, you will not stay there. You won't. You're going to go shoot. You're going to shoot right past 10. If you stick yourself at 7,000 a month or 8,000 a month or 5,000 a month, you'll hang around there for a while. It's just how this works. How it works with me. I'll talk about Chad a little bit. All right. So here are the 10 steps. Focus. Listen to this. So the shit will change your life. I've seen it. Billy and I have seen it. We cry when we see people do this. I don't cry, but other people cry. When you get your first client, several thousand, you get your second client, the third client, you're like, oh my God, when you quit your job, I've seen it. You can do this. It's not that hard. You just got to get off your ass. So step one, speaking of getting off your ass, you have to make 100% firm decision to do this. To make $10,000 a month, you have to make it a must in your life. Not like, oh, that'd be cool. The reason that so many of you are not making the money you want to make, or you're location dependent still, you're not location independent yet, is because you're like, well, that'd be cool to make a location dependent like Caleb. That's not enough. What did I just say about motivation a minute ago? Massive positive motivation, massive negative motivation. Here's another motivational thing I've talked about. This is kind of personal to me, but I've talked about this before. When I was in high school, so I was born in a family of 7 people. My dad was a low-income guy when I was a little kid working for the state of Oregon. And we had a family. It was a family of 7 and supported on that little income. It was the last generation of men, younger baby boomers, who were able to do that before the collapse really began. And now men can't, low-income men can't even support themselves. They need to live with roommates and shit. But anyway, so I was in a very restrictive environment financially throughout most of my childhood. By the time my dad, I was in high school, just about to leave, My dad came into some money. He started a business and he slowly started making more money. We had a bigger house and things like that. So I kind of went, oh, well, maybe it's not so bad. Maybe I guess people can make money. Okay. And then I remember one of these days, pivotal days, changed my life. I was out with my friend Frank, was a senior in high school. So I was probably 17, 18 years old. We used to go to a fast food restaurant in Oregon called Burgerville. It's like a fancy version of McDonald's. And we pulled up the drive-thru, order our cheeseburgers, and this old lady, and I mean old, like in her 70s or 80s. It's like, yes, can I take your order? And I'm like, it horrified me. This woman is in her 70s and 80s. She's working at fucking McDonald's. Oh my God. You can live your whole life and still be fucking poor. Terrifying to me. Later in life, when I started my business, I would run into back when I was a young computer consultant. We run these guys who were computer consultants who were in their 50s, my age. Yeah, I'm in my early 50s now. These guys in their 50s, and they would talk about, I have no money. I mean, if I don't get paid, I can't pay my rent. I'm out in the street. I'm like, you're in your fucking 50s and you have no money? That's poor. Even if you make $100,000 a year. Some of these guys did. They're poor. Terrified. So that was my motivation. I had this irrational fear of being old and having no money. Ugh, God damn. Saying it makes me scared. So that's my why. My negative why. I have positive whys too. Anyway, why do you want it? And don't copy anybody else. That's a big part of the book I just wrote. Don't copy anyone else. Why do you want it? Be selfish. Maybe you want it to take care of your kids. Great. I don't care what your reason is. Maybe you're a young guy and you want to buy a fucking Lamborghini and you're dumb beta and you think women won't have sex with you unless you have a Lamborghini. Okay, whatever gets you off your ass, start your business and get location dependent, quit your stupid job. Great. Why do you want it? And it could be a fear-based reason too. That's fine. Whatever gets you off your ass. You should sit down and make a list of what you want. I've talked about this exercise. I'm not going to go, I don't want this podcast to go 3 fucking hours, so I won't talk about this. But sit down and make a list of what you want. In my Unchained Man book, I talk about your vision, not your mission, your vision, where you write down everything you want. That was another big pivotal day of my life, back when I was 32, 33 years old. Wrote down everything I wanted. Everything. And then later you can attach numbers to it and set some goals. Write down what you want. You can also write down what you're scared of. Perfectly. I should probably let the slides do the talking for me instead of me trying to pre-up my own slides. What pain are you trying to avoid? Often this is better than positive move toward goals. That's true with me. I am definitely motivated by what I want, the positive, exciting shit. I'm very motivated by that stuff. But I am more motivated by, oh my God, in 10 years, if the AI communist utopia takes over the world, you won't be able to make any more money. If that happens, and it may not, we don't know. But that means if it does happen, if it happens and it may not, we don't know. If that happens, we have 10 years. You have 10 years to make all the money you want, and you won't be able to make any more. On top of the United States is going to collapse in your lifetime. On top of. Okay. So here's some ideas. I'm preempting the slides. Here's some ideas to motivate you in terms of negative motivation. Collapse the West. The West is fucked. Trump won't fix it. Elon won't fix it. Doge won't fix it. None of that will fix it. I'm sorry. The coming AI revolution. At a bare minimum, several scores of millions of people will be put out of work in the next several years. And that's going to affect the economy. And who's going to pay for these fucking people when the United States already has too much debt? Yeah, at a bare minimum, that could happen. On top of AI taking over. Here's another one that you should be worried about, especially if you're older. You know, you're over 40. You guys are over 40. Do you have enough money to retire? Do you? Think about it. How about take care of your kids? You young guys who want kids, do you have enough money to take care of your kids? You guys of any age, or you women of any age, do you have enough money to take care of yourself in an emergency? You know that over 40% of Americans who make 6-figure incomes can't put their hands on $1,000 in a fucking emergency? That's a stat I quoted back in 2016 when the economy was much better than it is today. Insanity. Are you in that scenario? Are you exposed? Probably. Some of you aren't. Some of you are kicking ass. Great. Love you guys. Some of you need to get to work. So find your reason. Step 2, this is another emotional thing. We have to start with our emotions, because I could say, here's exactly how to make $10,000 a month. And I'll say, yes, do this, do this, do this. And your brain goes, but I can't. But I'm dumb. No one. I don't have any marketable skills, Caleb. I'm stupid. I could never make 10,000 a month. And why should I make 10,000 a month? It's okay. I live at home with my mom. We got to address the emotional shit first. Okay. You can make $10,000 a month. Here's the reasons why. Number one, top of the list. And boy, does this piss me off. This has always pissed me off. There are fucking idiots who make more than 10,000 a month. I've said this many times. Nothing will make you angrier, especially when you're a higher income guy. Some of you guys can relate to this. You're a higher income guy. Even if you're not a higher income guy, a guy who makes more money than you is dumber than you. I see, God bless him, Patrick Bet David. Okay, not the sharpest tool in the shed. The guy's worth way more than me. He's worth like $500 million. And I'm like, that guy can do it. Fuck, no, I don't want to be worth $500 million. I have other priorities. But yeah, use that as motivation factors. You like, I have to be really smart and college educated. No, you don't. Fucking morons. I did a whole video a year ago when I was in Mexico. When did I do this? I forget. Where I read an article in a magazine of a guy who couldn't read. He didn't know how to read. He never learned how to read. Multi-millionaire, self-employed millionaire. Had a company in the food industry. He sold, I forget what he did. Started a business, was making millions, didn't know how to fucking read. What's your fucking excuse? It went through the whole thing. And the guy was interviewing him said, well, how did you like, for example, like when you had to wine and dine clients, right? He goes, oh yeah, all the time. He goes, well, how did you do that if you couldn't read? How did you order off the menu? He said, well, I figured out every restaurant in the world, including foofy fancy restaurants, always have a cheeseburger. So I look at the menu and I'm looking at this thing. I don't know what the hell it says. I can't read. I go, I'll just have a cheeseburger. I would just do that every time and no, it always worked. What's your fucking excuse, you fucking moron? Next one. Lots of incompetent people make $10,000 a month, including sometimes me. I make all kinds of dumb mistakes all the fucking time. Some of you think you're this perfect superhuman to make 10,000. No, you don't. Have you seen a business that was totally run incompetently, but yet the owner was making millions? I've seen thousands of those, especially in the United States. $10,000 a month is not a big deal because of things like inflation. Because you psychotic bastards have been voting for the lesser of two evils for 35 years, you just did it again. What you've done is you've created an environment now where inflation is skyrocketing, as I've been warning for about 10 years. And so now $10,000 a month is not that much money. You think it is. It's not. Just did a big discussion on my blog about one of my two blogs. I have two of them about what it takes to be rich in terms of rich numbers and what middle class means. The numbers are way skewed now. It's easier to hit these higher numbers because of inflation. Well, here's another one. Well, Caleb, I live in a shithole country. You don't understand, Caleb. I live in a shithole country. I've answered this 10,000 times. Great. Location independent business means you don't sell to people in your country. Matter of fact, it is better if you don't sell to people in your country. I don't sell to people here in Dubai. That will change, but I don't right now. I don't sell to people in Paraguay. That will change. But, okay, so who doesn't matter. If you live in a shittier country, great. Stay in your shitty country. Shitty is good because it's cheap. And sell to people used to paying high prices, like people who live in New York, Los Angeles, Chicago, Tokyo, Paris, London. Sell to those people. Those people stupid enough to stay in those countries and get raped by their governments. Sell to them. 1, 2, 3 clients, and you're living the equivalent of $10,000 a month. That's something I'm not going to address these slides to, but if you add 5 flags into the mix, if you make $5,000 a month, but you live in Paraguay or Cambodia or parts of Thailand or Ecuador, these really cheap Philippines, you live like a goddamn king. You live like you're making $20,000 a month on $5,000 a month. Now, I'm not going to discuss that in these slides, but you get my point. Next one. Once you have the mental stuff there and you're primed and ready, you'll never be 100% ready. You just need to take action sometimes, even though you're scared, you pussy. Sometimes you just got to proceed anyway, even though you might make mistakes. Stop being a lissig. Stop being a perfectionist. Stop being a beta. And you women, stop being a beta male version of a woman. What's the beta male version of a woman? I don't know. Someone tell me. Niche. I've been a broken record. I'm going to go into detail about this, unlike ways I have in the past. You have to narrowly niche. If you want to lose money and waste your time, start a business where you can sell anything to anybody, 1 billion people. No, that's stupid. 1 billion companies. How to make more money, how to lose weight. You're stupid. You'll get slaughtered. Okay. Narrowly niche to a narrow, weird ass niche that no one's ever heard of before. That's where the cash is. You want to go from 0 to 10,000 a month. You want to go from 0 to the money quickly. Niche. The more you niche, the easier it is to get customers. Way easier. I mean, you don't have to get, that's why you have some people in Business Builder get clients quickly. You don't have to like pressure them or try to sell them. You're already niched. You're already selling exactly the people who sorry, I didn't say that right. You are working with only one set of people and they know it. So it's easier for them to buy from you. Another reason in a second. You can charge higher prices when you niche. If you sell to the entire planet Earth, it drives prices down. You don't want to sell low price shit. You want to sell high price stuff. I made millions on the internet starting in 2009 by selling dating ebooks, and I was the second highest priced person in the entire marketplace back in the pickup artist dating coach world back in 2009. People like Roosh were selling their books for $9. I was selling mine for $50, $60, $70. I made shitloads of money because my books were niched. It wasn't like how to get laid. That's not niched. I didn't sell books like that. The more referral business you get, hey, this guy so-and-so has a business where he fixes our biggest problem and he only works with people like us. You should call it. The fewer customers you need to hit your income goals because A, what you're selling is higher margin, and B, what you're selling is niched. We'll talk about it in a second. The easier it is to locate prospects because it's a narrow niche that you've already defined it. You'll get more word about the referrals. Did I repeat that? Sorry. The cheaper it is to advertise. So let's say you start buying ads. So let's say you sold to doctors. You got to pay for doctor as a keyword. Good luck with that. Instead, let's say you sold to podiatrists in private practice in Florida. Way cheaper because that's much cheaper keywords because you're niched. The faster you will be perceived as an expert if you're doing coaching, consulting, or a service, which you should do. I'll talk about it in a second. Way faster. You go from no one knowing who you are to with an ear being perceived as an expert in the industry. I've seen people do it. I've seen it. The less competition you'll have. If you're micro niche, you don't have any competition. My Alpha Male 2.0 business teaches men how to date multiple women all at the same time, long-term, with no cheating or lying or drama. Who else teaches that in the internet? Go ahead, tell me. Yeah, I'm the only one. So what competition do I have? Are there people who talk about non-monogamous relationships? Yes. Who teaches how to do it specifically, step by step? Who? Besides me. I'm the only one. So no one ever says to me, Caleb, are you worried about competition? No one ever says that to me. It would sound dumb because I'm niched. Even here at Unchained CEO, I talk about international lifestyle, but I'm not Andrew Henderson of Nomad Capitalist where I cover the entire planet Earth and my services start at $85,000 a year. I niche to several countries and I keep all of our prices super, super low as compared to anyone else in the industry. And there are good people in this industry. There's wealthy expat, there's offshore citizen, there's a nomad capitalist. They're all good guys, but they charge a lot of fucking money because they cover the whole planet. I don't do that. Billy and I don't cover the whole planet. We cover a few little countries, and we have very inexpensive services for those countries, the best countries. The less customer turnover you'll experience. You'll keep customers longer because they have nowhere to go. The less hard you'll have to work for the equivalent income of a person who isn't niching. You take two people who start a business, one niches, one doesn't. Let's say the one who doesn't ends up making some money. You'll be working half the hours this guy does because you're niched. He'll need 10 times more customers than you. The cheaper your market is, I already covered that. Here's the objection I always get. But Caleb, what if my niche is too small? I mean, I don't think I'll have enough people to. All right, no niche is too small. Here's my favorite quote, famous statement, even though it's not famous because I'm not famous, thank God. I've said this many times. I'm happy to say it again. Here it is. Hang on. I have never, ever, and I've seen thousands of niches at this point, never seen a niche where you couldn't make a 7-figure income from, not 10,000 a month. Fuck that. 7 figures. You don't have to make 7 figures. I'm saying if you gave me that niche with what I know, I can make 7 figures for that niche. I've never seen a niche small enough where you couldn't make 7 figures. Most of you don't want to make seven figures. Some of you do. Great. 10,000 is easy. So if your niche is able to, if you're able to make 7 figures from your niche, 10,000 a month, pretty easy. That's only 120,000. That's what, 10% of 7 figures. So no, don't worry about, well, it's too small. No, I've never seen it. Never seen it. Step 4, critical. This is one of the steps that niching, and then step 3 and step 4 are one of the steps that most entrepreneurs or entrepreneurs skip and they go out of business. You research the niche. We spent a lot of time on this in 90-Day Business Builder. Research the niche. You talk to a bunch of people in the niche and you find out what their biggest problem is, the problem that pisses them off, the problem that drives them crazy. Every niche has a big fucking problem. It's different depending on the niche. You don't know what it is. What's the biggest problem? You find that out. You don't say, I'm good at this, so buy this niche. That's not how this works if you want to make a lot of money quickly. This is the biggest problem they have, not the problem you want to help solve. I'm good at accounting, so I'm going to help people with their accounting. That's not what we're talking about. I'm good at computers, so I'm going to help people with computers. I lost 40 pounds. I'm going to help people lose 40 pounds. No, you idiot. No. Do that for fun if you want. Do that as a money hobby. You want to make a lot of money fast and quit your job and be location dependent and save yourself? Find the problem they're already experiencing that probably has nothing to do with you at all. Maybe it does have something to do with you. Who knows? You get consensus. You can't talk to 1 or 2 people and they say, this is my problem. Oh, okay. No, talk to a whole bunch of people and you're listening for the same answer over and over again. Oh, my biggest problem is this. You talk to another person, my biggest problem, it's the same thing. Talk to a third person. My biggest problem is some weird thing you never heard of. Talk to the first person. It's the same thing as the first 2 guys said. You're looking for consensus. Now, sometimes in 90-Day Business Builder, we'll have these weird niches where people will do the research. They'll talk to like 7, 8, 9 people, and they get a different on what's your biggest problem, and they'll get a different answer for every person. Not a good niche. Now, that's rare. That's not typical, but it happens. Sometimes there are weird niches where there isn't one big problem. It's a bunch of little problems. Not a good niche. Find a new niche. Okay. Remember that you don't have to solve the problem. Caleb, you say cybersecurity is a good industry, but I don't know anything about cybersecurity. Neither do I. Has nothing to do with it. Find people in cybersecurity or AI or healthcare or these other big industries. They're not niches. Crypto, whatever. Okay, I don't care. A narrow niche in one of these places, and then you can hire someone. If the problem is very technical or weird, you can hire people super cheap in other countries, administrative people and or technicians to solve the problem for you. You don't have to solve the problem. You can if you want. You don't have to. As a productivity consultant, strategic planning, productivity consultant, which I've been for 25 years or whatever, long time. I've made a lot of money from the biotech industry. Do I know anything about biotech? Bro, I never went to college. Bro, I never graduated high school. Don't tell my mom. What do I know about biotech? I don't know shit about it, but they had a problem I could fix. Productivity. I knew that. But Caleb, I don't know how to do productivity. Okay, hire a productivity guy. It's not hard. Step 5. Critical. You only sell something that will get you to $10,000 a month quickly. There's 10,000 things that you can sell. There's about 25 things you can sell in a location-independent Alpha 2.0 compatible business. But there's only about 3 things you can sell that are location-independent, Alpha 2.0 compatible, and make money fast. So you want to make money fast. Do you want to write an ebook? No. Can you make money selling ebooks? Yes, I've made literally millions of dollars selling ebooks. But if they weren't fast, how long is it going to take you to write a fucking book? Yeah, problem. I want you to make money fast. I assume you want to make money fast. So you want something else. So number 1, you want to make it quickly. Number 2, you want to get to 10K a month with the minimum number of customers possible. It took me, let's see, how long did this take me? 15 years of my life of work, hard work, to discover this. I just said, I want to make a lot of money. I was like most young, dumb guy. I want to make a lot of money. And I just worked and blew my brains out and eventually made a lot of money. And I had all these customers. And I hated my life and I got divorced and I gained weight and it was awful. I had to figure out when I reoriented my life to Alpha Male 2.0, Unchained CEO in my mid 30s. Okay, I want to make a lot of money, but with the minimum number of customers possible, or else I'm working too hard. If you need to get 500 customers to make 10,000 a month, that's a terrible business, in my opinion. Find a business where you need 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 customers to get to 10,000 a month. Easy. There's all easy. That's not difficult at all. 20 customers, 15. That's awesome. Then you're making the money and you're not working that hard. So you don't want to do things like drop shipping, selling hard products, selling an ebook, selling a membership program. I'll add more. Doing a SaaS business, designing an app. What else? Affiliate marketing, sort of. Affiliate marketing is pretty good, actually. You don't do, now these bad businesses. No, they're great. They're all awesome. These are all, as Billy would say if she were here, second. These are your second business. That's your second income stream. Book, course, a membership program. That's your second business. Quit your fucking 9-to-5 job first. Sell what I'm about to tell you to sell. Make the money, then do this shit. Never sell anything with low margin. I've talked about this 10,000 times. I get offered businesses all the time, business ideas all the time, and my first question is, what are your margins? Oh, they're 17%. Fuck that. I'm not working that hard. Too low. I want something that's 300%, 500%, 1,000%, 5,000%. There's no such thing. Yes, there is. I'm about to show you 3 of them where the margins are that high. Yep. Yes, there is. Now, if you have a mature business, you have a large product line like I do, you can sell things that are less margin. That's okay. But as your first business, you want ultra high margin things you're selling. You want something you can sell right now or close to it, which would not be an ebook or a course or a marketing or a membership program or a app or, right? So don't design an app, write an ebook, develop a course, custom set, and so on. Kind of what I said earlier, right? Something else. When you're figuring out what to sell to customize to the niche's pre-existing problem, not what you want to sell, what will solve or alleviate the niche's problem. Generally speaking, this isn't always true, but generally this is true. You can sell either B2B or B2C. You can sell to individuals or you can sell to businesses. And this I got from Billy, and she's right. I never really clarified this, but she was right about this. Selling to businesses is almost always better. If you have a choice and you don't care which one, sell to businesses. If you're really passionate about a niche that you can help and you're following all the other models and you want to sell to individuals, fine. Selling to businesses is better. You can sell to individuals. I'm selling individuals. I sell 9-day business builder to individuals. I make plenty of money doing that. So yes, you can do that. That's fine. It's better to sell to businesses. And most of my adult life, I've been selling to businesses as a consultant. Made a lot of money very quickly in life and a lot of money later as a consultant selling to businesses. That would have been pretty tough to sell to individuals. So when you sell to businesses instead of individuals, kind of like niching, but on supercharge, you can charge more money, way more money, way more money. I can go to a business and sell a $75,000 consulting contract relatively easily. Can I find one of you to pay me $75,000? Now, it's possible. There are people out there, but not super likely. I mean, trying to find, if I were to sell something to a B2C market at $25,000, I could do it. I've done it, but it's hard. But with businesses, no problem, because they're big companies or they're bigger companies. You can get customers more easily, generally speaking, if you are niched. Here's a big one, and this is true. You get less complaints, less bitching and moaning, less people asking for refunds or their money back. Businesses don't fart around like people do. People fart around, they're idiots, and you get psychos, and you get people on drugs, and you get alcoholics, and you get weirdos, and businesses can't be an alcoholic or a weirdo or a psycho. You can have individual people in the company like that, but you're probably not working with those people. You're spreading your risk out. It's very rare when you work with companies where someone says, I want my money back. It happens, very rare. Whereas when you're selling B2C, it's a regular part of your thing. 2-3% are always going to be assholes and ask for the money back. Right? You get more and bigger results from your customers. Can I help you as an individual? Can I help you listen to the sound of my voice? Can I help you save $2 million a year? No, you don't even make that, right? Can I help a company save $2 million a year? Yeah, and I have many times, way more than that. So I get bigger results, which means I get paid more. I'm not saying you can't make $10,000 in B2C. You can. It's just usually easier B2B, so you don't have a preference. Go for that. I am giving you permission to sell to individuals. That's what coaching is in most cases. You can do B2B coaching to business owners, things like that. So you can do it. I'm just saying if you don't have a preference, try to lean in the business direction. It's easier. It just is. But Caleb, it's scarier to sell to businesses, and I'm new. And okay, I understand. It's fine. I get that. Although, hey, man, I was 24. I realize I'm not a normal human being, especially in my personal life. But using myself as an example, which maybe I shouldn't do, I was 24 years old, no college degree, no high school diploma, pretty much no people skills back then. Didn't know what the fuck I was doing. I started a business selling to companies, and I was able to make it work. I did everything wrong. You guys have read my books and know my story. I did everything wrong. I still made money. Step 7. Here's what you sell. You want to sell something that will solve, or this is from getting zero to the money quickly, sell something that will solve or alleviate that niche's problem. Caleb, what if I can't solve the problem? Can you alleviate it? Oh, yeah, I can do that. Great. Picture this right now, okay? Think in your head, in your little brain. My daughter used to say this when she was little. I think that in my brain, Dad. Think in your little brain. What is your biggest problem in your life right now? What is it? Just think of it real quick. What is that? Just think it. What's your biggest problem right now? Boom. Think of that. Okay, now, assuming you trusted me, if I can help you not solve the problem, but improve that problem by 60%, would that be worth money to you? The answer is probably yes. You're probably like, yeah, a lot of money. Shit, hell yeah. Oh my God, I'd give you everything. 60%. So you don't have to solve it, solve or alleviate, okay? Coaching, which is generally B2C, which is one-on-one or one-on small groups. That's coaching. Small groups, not 47 people in a room or in a Zoom thing. Small groups, okay? Some of you are part of something secret that I can't talk about publicly. You're part of the thing that we're starting this week. Okay. That's coaching. Coaching's great. It's fine, especially if you don't have the confidence to go after businesses yet. Consulting. That is the same thing as coaching, except you're working with a company instead of an individual. It's B2C. No, B2B, excuse me. I mix this up all the time. Sorry. I didn't go to high school. I didn't graduate high school. I did go to high school. I didn't graduate. Consulting. So you're working with them so coaching is you're advising people on how to accomplish a specific result. Coaching is you're advising a company on how to achieve a specific result. That's all it is. And you're niched. You're not going to be a life coach. That's not niched. What a dumb thing. I want to be a life coach. No. Be a coach for I am a fitness coach. Dumb. No. Be a coach for how to recover from a torn meniscus. And that's all you coach on. Now you're going to make a lot of money. There's a fucking guy on the internet that makes either a 6 or 7 figure income, I forget which one, showing people how to do handstands. It's true. Go look it up. He's on Reddit. I forget his name. All right. It's niched. Or sell a service. It can be B2C or B2B. What's a service? That's where you're doing it for them. Instead of saying, I'm going to show you how to do this, hey, I'll just accomplish the result for you. I'll just do it for you. Okay. B2B or B2C. You can sell to individuals or companies. Companies better. Individuals, okay. That's it. Coaching, consulting, service. Coaching, consulting, service. Coaching, consulting, service. Zero to the money faster than anything else you could sell. If you don't believe me, challenge me on this. What can you make money on faster than selling a coaching, consulting, or service? You could come up with a coaching or consulting thing in one day and the next day be selling it and you get a client next week. Can you do that selling an ebook or with an app or drop shipping? No, you can't. You can't. Sorry. Nothing wrong with those. Nothing wrong with those businesses as a second or third business. Service might take you another week to figure out a service and get the vendors in place and come up with a battle plan. Might take you a few days to plan that. You can sell that thing. Then you can scale it. Services are scalable. Coaching, consulting generally isn't. But when you have a full calendar as a coach, consultant, or coach, then you start doing ebooks and other things, or you raise your prices. Whatever works. Again, I'm going to repeat this again because some of you don't get this in your fucking heads. You don't have to know how to solve the niche's problem. You can hire people on Upwork and have them do it for you. Now, people get confused about this. Let me explain how this works. Well, Caleb, I don't need money to hire people. That's not how this works. Here's how it works. You do the business. You do the 7 steps I just talked about. Okay? You sell the client on you. The client pays you. Oh, let me back up. First, what you do is you go on Upwork.com. You go to Fiverr too. Upwork's better. Upwork.com. You hire the contractor. You don't pay him anything. You say, stand by. I'm going to get you some business. Are you ready? Are you ready, subcontractor or admin person or technician? Yes, I'm ready. Great. Stand by. You go sell. Someone hires you as your first client, second client, third client. Doesn't matter. They pay you first, or at least they pay you a down payment, or they pay you the first month of a retainer. A lot of people, business builders, do a lot of retainer stuff, which is great. You get the money in your hand. Then you go to the subcontractor and say, okay, subcontractor, go do this. I'm not going to pay you until I'm happy with the result. And then you pay him. You get paid first. So it costs you 0. You understand how this works? You don't hire a bunch of people and spend a bunch of money and then try to get clients. No. So you're clear about that. Step 8. Now we're going to supercharge this, your coaching, consulting, or a service. We're going to supercharge this. Value-based pricing. This is a very big, complex topic beyond the scope of this presentation. But to summarize it, the way it works is that when you price something, you price it based on the value the client receives, not based on a per hour rate or a per day rate or a 10% profit margin. What most business owners do is they say, I'm a consultant or I'm a coach. They say, okay, I guess I got to charge hourly because that's what all the other consultants and coaches do. So I charge $50 an hour. No, you dumbass. No. Instead, what you do is you go to the prospect and you say, what's your problem? My problem is this. You already know about the problem because you already did research. You say, how much money is that problem costing you per year? Oh, geez, it costs us. They say, I don't know. Well, what would you guess? Oh, geez, at least $1 million a year in this company. Great. So it costs about $1 million a year to solve this problem. Yes. So if I solve this problem, you and I working together, we solve this problem. You'd make another $1 million, right? And you say, right? You want him to say, yes, that's correct. Or, well, no, that's not true. Okay. How much would you spend? Well, I'd make about $700,000. Okay. So your company would make another $700,000 if you and I solve this problem. Yes. Great. So you base your price based on that. $700,000. My consulting service is $120,000. I get $120,000. You get $700. Or no, 700 minus 120. So do some math. You get $580,000. Is that fair? I think that's fair. What if you can't solve the problem? All right, let's say we only solve it 50%. So you get $300,000. I get $100,000. Is that fair? Yeah. That's how you do this. You can do some coaching, consulting, or a service. Sometimes. Depends on what you're selling. Instead of just saying, I get $50 an hour. Stupid. You can get one client. I've seen this happen. It's not typical, but it's happened. You get one client when you do value-based pricing as a consultant and quit your job. You get one client, one. Put them on a contract or retainer for a year. You get $4,000 or $5,000 a month. You quit your job. And you move to Belize. Second thing. I'm going to talk more about this in the book I talked about earlier. Okay, we'll talk more about this in January. You've got to make your business AI resistant. Now, the beauty of having coaching, let me rewind that for a second. A lot of you are going to lose your jobs, lose your incomes the next several years because of AI. Because you're not taking my advice. You're going to keep doing your legal admin shit or your bookkeeping or your accounting or your copywriting, and you're going to get destroyed by AI. And you'll say, God damn it, this is bullshit. I want government to give me free money. And okay, so you don't want to start a business that is not AI resistant. You want your business to be AI resistant. Okay, here's how you do it. These are the aspects of an AI resistant business. I'm going to list about 5 or 6 of them. You want to include at least 2 of them in your business, which is easy to do if you're doing coaching, consulting, or a service. Coaching, consulting, and service are naturally more AI resistant, generally speaking. Okay. Highly creative problem solving and planning. Highly creative, complex decision making. That's an aspect of your business. High emotional intelligence. But I'm an introvert. Okay, then don't do that one. Complex interpersonal interactions. But I'm an introvert. Okay, don't do that one. You don't need all these. 1 or 2. Extremely niched. Already talked about that. Mentorship and or leadership. You can introduce that into what you're selling. Trust-based relationships and high-touch services where they're more customizable. Things like that. More human interaction. I'm going to be, if AI, well, Caleb, AI will replace everybody someday. Okay, dumbass. Why don't you be the last person they replace instead of the first? If AI replaces everybody, and it may or may not, we don't know, I will be the last person on earth, one of the last people on earth to be replaced by AI. What am I doing right now? What am I doing right now? I'm giving you highly niched, high-touch, customizable information live over a video. Me live. This isn't some recorded video. I'm doing this live. You might be watching the recording. That's fine. What percentage of human beings in the world right now have the ability to do a recorded video and make it good on YouTube or TikTok or whatever? Well, everybody. No, that's not correct. It's about 4 or 5%, I think. I don't have the exact number. It's about 5% of people. Most people are never going to make a video and post anything because they're scared, right? 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 Are you posting videos on YouTube? Probably not. Okay. So that's 5%. Now, I switched about 2 years ago from videos to live streams. Why did I do that? Several reasons, but one of them is I want to be AI resistant. I want to be in rarefied air. What percentage of humanity can do what I'm doing right now? I'm going to talk for an hour, maybe a little longer with questions and stuff, live. I can't, if I make a mistake, I can't rewind it. I'm talking to you live right now. What percentage of human beings can do that? Fraction of 1%. I'm one of the rarest people on earth by being able to do this. And by the way, you could do this too if you wanted to. You just got to practice a little bit. Billy didn't know how to do this. Now she can. It's a skill you can acquire. I do this because I don't want AI replacing me anytime soon, and it won't. If either I will never be replaced, either I will never be replaced by AI, or if AI literally replaces everyone, which is possible, we don't know. I call it the last man standing. I'm going to be the last guy, last group of people. All of you will be fucked, and I'll be just fine for a long time. So that's what you want in your business. So you want to put at least 2 elements of this into your business. Step 9, leverage your current network. You don't just start running ads when you start a brand new business. That's dumb. You want to talk to everyone you know first. Contact everyone you already know or have ever known. You say, hey, I just started a business where I help the niche, solve their problem. Do you know anybody? And if you make a whole list of people, of 120 people or whatever, that's the kind of number in my head. Everyone knows 120 people. I'm sure you're going to find several people who know someone or even people in the niche. Oh, yeah, you should call so-and-so. Odds are you have 1 to 3 clients already in the list of people you already know. You can also reach out to first and second level contacts in your social media, LinkedIn, Facebook, shit like that. You can't do that. Reach out to the niche directly and ask them about their problem. Talk to them about their problem. And your niche is easy to find because you've already defined it. After you exhaust your network, you might get a client or 2 out of that just without marketing at all, just calling people and talking to people. Once you exhaust your network, then you start marketing and you market the fuck out. If you've read my books, you know how big I am on marketing. Most Fortune 500 companies sell a shitty product, but they make hundreds of billions of dollars. Why? Because they market. Most small businesses go out of business, and most small businesses are selling something that's pretty awesome. This is the truth. Most small businesses I see go to business, hundreds of them, are selling something that's pretty cool. Then why'd they go out of business? Because they didn't market. They said, well, I went to college. I'm not a salesperson. They make a bunch of bullshit excuses, and they don't market. They go to business. They go back to their jobs. Marketing. Market the fuck out of it. So you can market for free or you can market paid. I don't have any money. Great. Free method, cold calls and cold DMs. How much does it cost to make a phone call? $0. How much does it cost to send a DM to someone? $0. If you want to get fancy, use a service like bombbomb.com where you can attach videos onto individual emails or DMs. It's fine. You can also use groups and forums. You'll hear from Chad in a minute and what he did. Facebook groups, LinkedIn groups, shit like that. Be careful. Don't sell right on the group. What you have to do is give advice, and then you DM people or friend request people, and then you sell. That works too. Works great if you're niched. If you're just on a weight loss forum, it's not going to work. Even if you're on just a random dating forum, it's not going to work. You got to be niched. And most niches have weird forums. If you have some money to spend, great. You can run ads. 2 best places for a new business owner to run ads, Facebook and YouTube. Facebook and YouTube. Pros and cons of both outside the scope of this presentation. You can run ads on Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn if you want to. That's fine. If your niche is there. Did I do a joint venture with this guy, or I almost did? I guess I haven't yet. Met a guy through my joint venture network, and this guy's making money selling ads on Pinterest. And then he has a course on how to make, 6 figures selling ads on Pinterest to a bunch of woman niches. He's a guy. Genius. It's awesome. Caleb, what about having a social media? What about a blog and a podcast? And yes, you should start that at this point, but that is for midterm and longer range income. That's going to take time. So getting from zero to money quickly has nothing to do with starting a YouTube channel. I'm sorry. Should you start a YouTube channel? Yes. Especially if you have a personal branded-based business? Absolutely. Or Instagram or Twitter or wherever your niche is. Yeah, start your social media organic content and start building an audience. Yes, but that's not going to make you money now. That'll make you money in about a year and a half. Year and a half, and then in 2 to 3 to 4 to 5 years, it's going to make you shitloads of money. So that's money later stuff. So you should start now, yes. But you don't focus on, I'm going to get rich by posting shit on Instagram when I have 3 Instagram followers. No. You got to work that up for overtime. All right. Let me show you a very creative way to market. This is Chad, one of our graduates from the 90-Day Business Builder. Let's see how I'm going to do this here. Let me unshare this. See if I fuck this up. Add this. Chat. Did you guys hear that? Tell me in the chat that you could hear this. Chad was able to pull off something that I think is really cool. I like it when people can get clients. It's my clone. Can you please tell me in the chat that you can hear that audibly? Because sometimes that doesn't work well. If it does, I'm going to play this video. I'm playing a recording. Yes. Okay, great. All right, hang on. So I am here with Chad, and Chad was able, really quick, listen to how he acquires these clients. This is really smart. And able to pull off something that I think is really cool. I like it when people can get clients starting from zero without any advertising, but I'll have him talk about that. Hi, Chad, how are you?
Hi, good, thanks, Caleb.
So you joined Business Builder in March of this year, right? Do you remember when? Like, was it the beginning of the month or the end of the month, or do you remember when?
I'm not too sure. I just came back from a trip, and it was somewhere probably in the middle of the month when you guys were just starting. I got in just on time.
Got it. And then your business is rent to own agreements. Can you describe that? Cool. For laymen who don't know what that means. Very cool.
Sure. So I'm helping either buyers buy a home through rent to own or sellers sell their home. I'm focusing on sellers because you can avoid real estate fees, and you can make a ton more money. Basically, I'm kind of looking at the numbers. You get an upfront down payment. You are basically, rather than renting your home, you are receiving rent each month. Your cash flow is great. Plus, you don't have to worry about maintenance and repair, which is a huge thing. You can just forget about them because these tenants are going to own the home in a couple of years. You can also sell your home for 15% more, at least, than what you normally would, because there's so many people out there who are not in the financial situation to buy a home. And you have foreign investors. This is another way that they can kind of get to buying a
Oh
home
yeah,
as
I didn't
well.
think of that. Right. And
While
this is a
while
growth
people are getting
market
their
because
ducks
of
in
the
a
price of
row.
homes.
Yeah, so people might need time to get their ducks in a row. Maybe they need to sort out their finances, and they just want to get into a house.
Really quick, this is a growth model business because he's tied into a new trend. Soon in the United States, it will basically be impossible to buy a house unless you're a big corporation. Western collapse. So he is right, what we call on trend. He's matched his business to a very booming trend. Genius. Cool. Okay. This is a really cool idea. We don't have a lot of people in business doing real estate, but sometimes that's awesome. Okay. So then let's see. You got your first client a few months after, and you didn't get paid. So there was a lag time between when you got the client, when you got paid for the first client, correct?
Yes, yeah, I ran into a couple little issues with lawyers and real estate agents, which I needed to smooth out and make sure that that was all cleaned up. So, I mean, I think I would have got it quicker, but I was a little concerned about making sure all that was straightened.
And I forgot to ask you, where do you live? What city?
In Newfoundland, St. John's.
Okay.
So we're island on the
Okay.
east coast of Canada.
Okay, cool. So these are Canadian homes, yes? Canada's
Yeah, I'm
Canada's
focused on
market.
Atlantic Canada. I never even, it wasn't even in my province. I went to another province and.
Oh, really? Now, why'd you do that? Why did you do that?
I didn't want to step in my my own territory.
Okay.
I didn't want to mess up in my own territory
Smart.
before.
Okay. Smart. All right. Smart. Fine.
But my
Okay, cool.
first interested client, it went through smoothly, like everything. Yeah, we sold the house.
How did you get this? We'll talk about how much money you made, but how did you get this client? How much work first of all, did you run any advertising or run any ads to get this client?
No ads.
No ads.
Just Facebook. Just wrote some messages on Facebook Messenger to people selling their homes.
And is that Facebook Marketplace?
Yes, yeah, Marketplace.
Okay. So you just sent some messages to Facebook Marketplace. You mean did you send them people who are listing their houses on Facebook?
Yeah.
Okay. And you just said, hey, how are you interested in rent to own agreements? Something like that?
Basically, yeah. I said, how would you like to sell your house for this much more? So I'd give them the number 15% more. So it was like, I don't know, 290.
So really quick, pausing this. How hard is that? You think you could do something like that? Was that really hard? Is that hard to do? No.
50,000. I said, how would you like to sell it for 325,000? And he was like, really? And then I was like, yeah. And then sure enough, he he was an investor himself, so he didn't want to deal with some of the work. And anyway, yeah, it went smoothly. I found him a
Did you have to message here's another question. Did you have to message 500 people to get this client?
No. It was probably about 50 feet. I don't know, 50 to 100, but I had a template and stuff, so that wasn't.
Yeah, so it was just copy and paste.
Pretty much, yeah.
Pretty much, yeah. With some, yeah, okay, yeah.
I tweaked it a few times, but yeah.
And then so basically you found a renter, and you were the middleman between the renter and the seller to get your fee, right? Is that correct?
Yeah.
More or less. Yeah. Okay. And when you got the client, how long did it take you to get paid? There was a lead time because of all the BS which I understand. Real estate was that like a month or 2 months?
Yeah, no, less than a month. I think it was less than a month.
Oh, that's not bad. Okay, I thought it was longer. Okay, great.
I told him I'd wait until the agreement went through.
How long did that take?
Less
2 weeks?
A month. Just yeah.
Okay. All right. And you got paid how much for your first client?
1,000.
1,000. And then you're going to get a second payment from him, correct?
Yeah, he has another home that he wants to list because the first one went well. So I have another one that I'm listing.
And that payment's coming as we record this, it's the middle of November. That's coming anytime, right?
Yeah, it should be in the next couple of weeks.
What did I say at the beginning of this presentation? $10,000 a month begins with your first client, even if you make 1,000, which is typical. So watch this. You'll see. Got it. Okay. And you did this and you still have not run ads yet.
No, I haven't run any ads.
Okay.
No.
Okay. And when you get this money, do you have any expenses on your end, or do you keep all the money? We didn't talk about that. What are your expenses, if any? I don't think there are they? This is almost 100% profit for you, right?
No, not really. No, it would just be the lawyers, but I haven't paid anything for lawyers just yet.
You have it. Okay. So in the future, high margin. Future, when you get more clients for this, okay, what are you expecting the numbers to look like? Like the average client going forward, once you get all your ducks in a row, figure out the lawyer stuff. Is it sky's the limit, or are you looking at like $1,000 a client?
No, I think the sky is the limit. That's what I'm trying to brace myself for when like this does grow. I'm happy with 10K a month because I could see this growing. Not just it's every region. Like this could be an international type thing. As long as I can get the connection with the lawyer, get their rent to own agreement in their region, then I may be able to.
He could do 6 figures a month with this, no problem.
Pull it off, I don't know, all over.
And does that cost you money to get that template?
No, I was getting it for free.
Get it for free. Yeah, that's right. Because I would expect you just get it for, they don't care. Yeah.
No, some of them try to hold on to it, like, and then you got to work with them. But like, I was just finding lawyers who were going to give it for free. And then I tried to start working with these lawyers, but they kind of didn't really care about the rent to own. It's not their thing.
Yeah, it's not their thing. They probably don't care. So is the template based on the province or the city? What is it based on? It's region specific?
Yeah, so provinces are different. They're more or less the same here in Atlantic Canada, but just to be sure, I wanted to go to each lawyer in each province.
Right. Okay. So you could conceivably just hit multiple provinces and even multiple states in the United States, go international, and your costs are almost zero. Maybe you have a cost of acquiring for the first time you do a state or a province, the template, maybe, right? And if I'm incorrect correctly.
Yeah, I want to start paying lawyers just so it's a little more legit and that like I can kind of have that reassurance. Not that I want to, but like I just think that it might help. That and I guess I would like to eventually contract someone to message people and do sales.
Yes, correct. Now, the $1,000 price point, is that something you can raise later, or is that what you expect to get from now on?
No, that was just my first client. It should be, it should be much more. It should be like 2,000 or at least.
Yeah, 2,000 or so. Okay. You're flexible on pricing for your first client, so you could at 2,000 per client or per sale.
Yeah.
and here's the last question is that once you have all this dialed in, now that you've done it twice, how much of your personal time does it take once you get a new client to do this, to implement this?
If it was running smoothly, I'm going to say, I don't know, a few hours.
Few hours. That's what I figured.
A few hours. If I get it really smooth out, like maybe 3 to 5 hours.
Right. Because you're still in the initial phases, right? So it's going to get, every client you get is going to take you less and less time as you get more
big time
automated. Yeah.
It could be even less than that. Like really,
yeah, once you scale, yeah. Because you're right, you could scale the shit out of this. Yeah, exactly. When you sell a service like he is, it's much more scalable. Consulting and coaching by its nature is not scalable, but it's a good way to get to 10,000 or whatever a month very quickly. Then you do other income streams. But if you go right to a service, the advantage of that is he could scale the shit out of this right now. He's going, matter of fact, he is. I mean, you could get down to an hour and a half or something of your time. And if you have someone else like doing the marketing for you,
yeah, that would be, then I could kind of just run, like sit back and kind of make sure it's being operated properly.
Right. To monitor people. Right. Exactly. Cool. This is great. Thanks very much. This is fantastic. When you get some more clients, we should talk again.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
Because getting to 10 grand a month is no problem for this kind of business. That's easy. It's just a matter of setting up the systems. Easy.
Exactly. So
yeah. Cool.
Yeah, no, Jeff's been great too. So it's been very helpful just navigating now the waters to make it happen.
If you were talking to someone and they were on the fence about joining Business Builder, like I think I want to, I'm not sure, What would you
Yeah.
say to them?
It's much better than I could imagine. Really, it was overwhelmingly helpful. Like, there's just so much support. Just the support alone, knowing that you're not doing it by yourself, is much more than worth it. Like, honestly.
Yeah, that's how you get to results faster when you're not doing it yourself. Because I've done the same things myself. I've hired people to help me because you get there faster when you're not by yourself. Exactly right.
Yeah, that. But like, no, it was the advice was very, 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 very good between
Cool.
Jeff and Billy, the mindset coaches, and just kind of getting your in your groove.
Awesome. This is great. Thank you very much for this. So that's my point about when you have a first client in a scalable business, the hardest part is getting the client first. That's the hardest part, the first client. We always talk about this mentally. The next few clients are easy. Then you scale the shit out of it when it's a service like this. And you saw how he marketed in a really easy, almost dumb, not dumb, it's genius, but dumb as a simple way to do this. Did he do any complex marketing shit? No, he didn't. He's going to make so much fucking money. I love it. All right, really fast, I'll get to your questions. As I talked about in the video. You can do things one of two ways. You can do it alone, or you can have someone who has done it already help you. So, enrollment is now open for the 90-Day Business Builder 2.0. We have added a mountain of shit to this program, stuff that you guys have asked for. Because again, I don't care what I want. I care about what you want. See, I practice what I preach. You can copy what I do here because I'm practicing everything I'm doing everything I just talked about. This is now 90-Day Business Builder 2.0 is the #1 best business program in the world on the internet. I'm going to show you specific reasons why in a second. And I'm being literal. This is not marketing shit. I'm being literal. And I'll answer your questions. We work with you hand in hand for several months on how to set up your location-independent business, doing everything we just talked about. We do it with you. We tell you exactly what to do week by week by week by week. Even if you have no idea how to get started, you've never had a business before in your life, you have no idea what you're doing, you have no clue, that's what this program is for. It's for you. You will make money within 12 weeks. We guarantee it. I'll discuss that in a second. You are guaranteed to make money within 12 weeks. This is how you escape your collapsing country. This is how you increase your personal freedom. This is how you increase your personal free time. This is how you increase your mobility. By a location-independent business. That's what this is. Even if you've never started a business before in your entire life, that's what this program is for. If you've already started a business and you want to scale a business, you should do something else, like coaching with me, although I'm going to stop doing that at the end of the month. We have, if you go to 90daybizbuilder.com and you scroll down the bottom of that page, you're going to see a big pile of videos from guys who made all kinds of money. We have guys who made $5,000 from their first client in 6 weeks. We have guys who made $8,000 or $14,000 from their second client. We have a guy that made a $39,000 contract from his third client. And a lot of people, like Chad, $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 on their first client. We've got guys who sign up people on retainer for $700 a month, $800 a month, $1,200 a month, monthly retainer. That's their first client. And then client 3 or client 2, client 3, you go to the page and look. Your deadline to schedule your calls, the way it works, you go to 90daybizbuilder.com, you schedule a call. You can figure out all the logistics. If your deadline is December 16th, which is in a week, I'll discuss why in a second. Here's everything you get. I'm going to burn through this really quick because there's a lot. We work with you for 12 weeks, weekly assignments every week, even if you have no business experience. You'll be making, okay, I already talked about this. I'm going to try to skip over whatever I talked about. Many of our clients have made thousands of dollars within a few weeks. That is true. New. We've added this to the program. It's 90-Day Business Builder. We've added an extra month as a bonus. So we won't work you for 90 days. We're going to work with you for 120 days. The same price. It gives you an extra month at the end to market more because we want you to get those clients, those first few clients. Also, it used to have 2 live sessions with coaches per week. We increased it to 3. Now it's 5. 5 live coach. These are not videos. These are live sessions with a human being over Zoom. 5 per week for 4 fucking months. There is no program on the entire internet at this price point where you get that. Most programs that compete with Business Builder, and they kind of don't, because this is location dependent coaching, consulting, a service. But those kind of programs, you get 1 call a week, maybe 2. You get 5. 5. I've talked to the guys I know who sell what I sell at the same price point I'm selling this. They'll say, oh, what do they get? 5 live calls. They get 5? Shit, in my program, they got 1. I know. 9-Day Business Builder is better. There is no other program in the world where you get that much help for a few $1,000s. Most programs that you get that much help, you're going to spend $25,000, $35,000. Business Builder is a few $1,000s, a tiny fraction of that. It's the only one in the entire world. We are the only one in the world. If you don't believe me, go Google around and find one that you can get that much help for that small of a price. Best in the world now. All the sessions are recorded in case you missed them. They're yours forever. You have a 24/7 accountability coach who will help you. And we have full 7-day-a-week coverage now in our base camp. So that's on top of the live sessions. New thing we've just added because guys asked for this. I didn't want to do it, but I did. I'm going to do this. You get a 90-minute group coaching call with me at some point in your 120 days. And you can ask me anything you want for 90 minutes. That wasn't part of the program, but now it is. You're in our corporate base camp. You get daily support in there every day. You have our assignments, everything in there. Once you leave the program, the base camp is yours forever. Base camp is very fucking expensive. You get it for free. I'm giving it to you for free as part of the program for the rest of your life. When you sign up, you get about 25 how-to videos, like how to brainstorm a niche, how to set up a mailing list, how to do a whole bunch of stuff, how to pricing, offer, all that stuff. You get all that. These videos are not available in any other product I have or any other bundle. Any other bundle I have, they are just in Business Builder. We have a structured curriculum that is a 12-week curriculum, so every week you get new assignments. We follow through on that. You help your accountability coach will help you if you fall behind, things like that. Next thing we've added, new thing for the 2.0, in-person real-life events. So when you're a Business Builder active member or alumni, you've been in Business Builder before, we promise, and we're going to have more of this because Billy does more. We're going to have at least 1 casual meetup in the United States and 1 in Europe. Billy just did one over the weekend. There were 10 guys there, I think, from Business Builder in London. These aren't necessarily with me. They're with other coaches. Sometimes with me, usually not. Billy, Jan, one of the other coaches. So we're going to do live meetups, several a year, but we guarantee 1 in the United States and 1 in Europe at a minimum. But there's more. Past and present members welcome. So this is a lifetime thing. Once you're part of Business Builder, you come to these sessions wherever you want. You have access to over 100 people on our message boards who are currently people who are in the program, coaches, alumni who are still there. So you'll get information from them instead of just us. Experts, you'll have all kinds. You'll see in some of the videos, if you watch the videos, the case study videos on 90daybizbuilder.com, which is where you go. You'll have guys who say things like, I had a question. And I went in the message board, I asked the question, I got 3 answers within an hour and solved my problem. Because you learn things from other people in the program besides the coaches, even though there's like 9 coaches in the program. As soon as you sign up, we give you bonus courses. We give you my Alpha 2.0 business course, which is like $1,000. We give you that for free. We give you the how to get clients course. I think that's $500. We give you that for free. And then my book, Big Income on Little Work, on how to set up a location of better business. I want to make sure you have all the resources available to you. So when you start in the sessions, you hit the ground running. It's a 90-day curriculum over approximately 3 months, plus you get a bonus month at the end. So phase 1 is we do niche and what to sell. Phase 2, we set up logistics. We go through this. I'll go through that in a second. Bonus, if you if you schedule your call, if you get your call scheduled by December 16th, which is Monday, a week from today, you will get, just for this, a free one-on-one coaching call with me. 2 things. Number 1, I charge, this is literal. If you go to my coaching page, you'll see the prices. I charge $1,000 an hour when I coach one-on-one. You get this 20 minutes for free. I'm not going to cut you right at 20 minutes, but within reason. Number 2, I'm not going to do any more one-on-one coaching as of December 31st this year. So in about 3 more weeks, I'm not doing any more one-on-one coaching. That's it. This is like your last chance. It's free. 90daybizbuilder.com. Now, the curriculum, phase one is we go through the niche. We help you brainstorm niches. We help you narrow down the niche. We help you vet the niche. And once you've vetted the niche, then you do research on the niche, 2 niches actually, and you find their problem. And then you construct your service of what you're actually going to do, coaching, consulting, or a service. One of those 3 things. That's the first 6 weeks of the program or so. Spend a lot of time on that because that's the most important part. And I'll be honest, for most people, it's the hardest part. Niche is hard. It's hard. That's why we help you do it. Then phase 2, the middle month of logistics. Those are things like setting up your website, setting up your Stripe or PayPal, setting up your payment buttons, setting up your mailing list software, setting up the bullshit you got to set up for a business, setting up your LLC if you want one, things like that. We spend the middle part of the program doing that. Then phase 3 is, where's my slide? Shit, it's not there. Well, phase 3 should say, oh, sorry, I'm skipping through the slides. Anyway, that's logistics. Phase 3 is marketing, getting your first 1 to 3 clients. That's my objective for you in the program, 1 to 3 clients. If you get 1, great. Get 2 or 3, wonderful. Awesome. Great. That's the hardest part, is getting that first client. That's what we help you over that hump. So as part of the marketing aspect, we determine your USP. How are you clearly different from anyone else? And here's the key question. This is from old Dan Kennedy stuff, but it's right. Why should I do business with you when you're talking to a prospect? Why should I do business with you versus all my other options, including doing nothing? You have to answer that question. And that's what makes sales. Now, when you're microscopically niched, sometimes that's the answer, because I work with people like you and no one else. So USP is even easier when you're niched. But we talk about that. We talk about free marketing, cold calls, joint ventures, a little bit, paid marketing, YouTube ads, Facebook ads. We talk about all that stuff. We walk through the entire process to get you that first 1 to 3 clients. I'm going to say this again. There is no other program on the entire internet where you get this much help. Chad just talked about this much help for this cheap of a price. Someone's asking, is this just for men? No, this is for men and women. We have women in the program right now. Billy gets for you women, Billy gets very excited when women sign up for the program. So men or women, we don't care. I want you making money. I don't care if you're a man or a woman. I don't give a shit about that. I don't care. This is not Alpha Male 2.0. This is Unchained CEO, and women can be CEOs. There's no other program on the entire internet for a few $1,000 that gets you 5 live meetings a week for 4 months straight, plus a 24/7 accountability coach. And if you think I'm wrong, go look and tell me. By the way, I said this last week. If you find another program for a few $1,000 that gives you all this, please let me know. Because I need to make sure, I need to know about this. I've looked around. I haven't found one. They're all like 25,000, 35,000. This is a few thousand. It's nothing. Yep. Here's the guarantee. We guarantee you will be making money, real money, from your first 1 to 3 clients in 90 days or less. And if you don't, you will stay in the program forever, and we will work with you forever for free until you do. Now, to be clear, does that mean you sit on your ass and do nothing for 90 days and say, okay, you got to work for me forever? No, you got to do the work. But if you're doing what we tell you to do and you haven't made money in 90 days, and there are people in the program right now who are past their 90 days, we're still working with you. You got to ask them. They're almost there. They're close. A lot of them have just gotten clients. A lot of them are really close. Jeff and I and Billy, we all get very excited about this. We'll work with you forever until you do. That's our guarantee. So you're guaranteed to get clients out of this as long as you do the work. Now, if you join the program and do nothing, that's on you. And sometimes people do that, and that's fine. You can make payments. It's a few $1,000s. I can't give you the exact price because there's lots of discounts you can do on when you schedule your appointment with whoever you talk to on the phone. Matthew, Nizar, myself, it depends. Okay. Talk to them about other things, how long you've known, there's a lot of discounts. I like to give a lot of discounts. So now if you can't afford it all, you can make payments. If you make payments, there is no interest and no late fees ever on the payments. We don't charge any interest. We don't charge late fees. We don't do it. Ever. Ever, ever, ever. We're nice. It's 100% tax deductible even if you don't have a business yet. So if you want a nice tax write-off for 2024, sign up for the program. You can write it right off your taxes, right off the taxes from your job. You can do it. Please consult with an accountant. This is a tax deductible expense for you, even if you don't have a business yet. okay, which pays for a third of the program because you're probably paying 30% taxes at least. So the next cohort, the next group starts January 11th, which is perfect time for go time, which we'll be talking about in a week or two. So the way it works is you sign up now. You'll get all the tools, all the videos, you'll get access to all the message boards, you'll get all that stuff, and then you'll be ready to roll for the curriculum that starts on January 11th. So it's not like you have to start right on January 2nd. We want to give people a little more time from the holidays and things like that. This is not a guarantee. I will do this. If we get a whole bunch of people signing up this week, and we might, because we haven't talked about this in a few months. You notice I haven't discussed Business Builder in a few months because this is 2.0. I will do a bonus early bird session for you guys before the 11th, somewhere around Christmas or something. I'll do that. If we get enough people, I'll do that. You go to 90daybiz, B-I-Z, 90daybizbuilder.com and click the link to schedule a call. You've got till December 16th as your deadline. That is about a week from the live stream I am doing right now. Right? 90daybizbuilder.com. This is the best fucking program on the internet for starting your own business. I can now say that with confidence. I wasn't able to say that a year ago because I wasn't sure. But with all the stuff we're offering now, this is a literal statement. The things that compete with 90-Day Business Builder cost $25,000, $40,000, $35,000, and I mean that, $50,000 sometimes. I'm not kidding. I'm not joking. Go look it up yourself. You will make money with this. This will set you free from your job. This will set you free from your collapsing country. This will work for you. It has worked with so many other people. It will work for you. A lot of the people it's worked for are probably dumber than you. And I say that with all respect. And when I say dumb, I'm pointing at myself often. I mean, if you watch the case study videos, are these like super extraordinary? I think they're extraordinary people because they did the work. Did you get my point? Are these like super Elon Musk geniuses? No, these are normal people like you. People who have never started a business their entire lives, who've been employees for their entire lives, like most of you. You can do this. What's that? What's that? Is it Home Depot? You can do it. We can help. That's true. And again, before I go to your questions, I'll go to your questions. You can see I'm passionate about this. My mission, I talk about mission over at my other channel. My mission is to help you. That's my mission in life, is to help you get free from your fucking 9-to-5 job and your stupid gigs or with some of you, a location dependent business, and get free. And if you still want to stay in the collapsing USA or cuckoo Canada or suicidal Europe, you want to stay there for a while, fine. But at least now you have location dependent income and you can leave if you need to. You're fucked if you don't have location dependent income. You're fucked. You're fucked. I don't want you to be fucked. Not in the bad way. Good way, yes. Not the good way. Bad way. All right. Enough of that. Okay. Let me answer your questions here. How are we doing on time? Okay. This was a little long as what I thought, but this is an important topic. So, let's see. So I'm going to skip questions I already answered in the live stream because I see some already. So if I didn't answer your question, it's because I already answered live stream. I'm resting in bed because I'm sick. I'm tempted to watch a bunch of great 80 movies. I know it's not paleo compatible, but I want to minimize physical, mental stress thoughts. Well, if you're sick, do whatever you want. This is not part of the course, and should I not be here? Hi, Caleb. Good morning. Can you share a couple of your best marketing strategies and a couple of your best launch techniques? Thanks. My favorite marketing strategy, but it's a little complex. We don't really focus much on it in Business Builders doing joint ventures. Finding someone else, another company that sells to your niche, but sells a complementary thing, but not something that competes directly with you, and sell to their customers. It's a great way to get clients quickly. It's one of my favorite things to do. It's a little complicated though, a little complicated, but it works. What would you do if a professor yelled at you in a classroom, medical school, doctor of psychology school? I would stand up and say, you don't talk to me that way. Apologize. And I'd stare at him like this. If you said, get out of my classroom, I'd say, okay, bye, and I'd leave. By the way, that's why I stopped. That's why one of the reasons I didn't go to college. I tried college for 6 weeks. And the guy came in the back, was sitting in the back room, and came back and says, you're late in your assignments. You got some homework that you're late on. I said, okay, thank you. And then he went back on literally got my books and walked out and left, never came back. I'm like, I'm going to go make money. Fuck this college crap. I ignore questions about women on this channel. Ask me on the other channel. Do you know about the golden butterfly portfolio versus permanent portfolio? 20% gold, cash, bonds, small cap startup has a better historical track record. Yeah, I have heard of that. Yes, you can. Permanent portfolio is not how to make the most amount of money. Permanent portfolio is a way to preserve your wealth without having to worry about your money. Permanent portfolio is not how to maximize return. That's not what it's about. It's about ease. Happiness is very important to me as an introverted person. Well, it's important to extroverted people too. How stressful is it to own a consulting business or coaching business if you're introverted? It's not stressful at all. I've been doing it for 30 years and I'm an introvert. People think I'm not an introvert because of how I behave. I'm a very confident, strong, socially calibrated introvert, but I'm an introvert. I've been a consultant for about 30 years and I fucking love it. I still do it a little bit. Don't do it very much these days, but I still do some. It's easy money for me. I'm not stressed at all about my consulting. It's great. Is it sustainable long-term for introverts? Yes. When you're doing a consulting, you're not working with 47 people all day long. You're usually working by yourself or with 1 or 2 people at a time. Perfectly fine for introverts. What are your thoughts on the TikTok ban of the USA coming in mid-January? I don't believe it. It'll happen. I'll see it before I believe it. Have you heard about debanking regulator actions being done by Elizabeth Warren, where if the government doesn't like what you say or do politically, they just eliminate your bank accounts? Terrifying. You're going to see that's not going to happen anytime soon, but that will eventually happen in the collapsing USA and cuckoo Canada and suicidal Europe. And what's my answer to that? Why are you still there? You're dumb enough to stick around. Why do you have assets in the United States? I don't have any assets in the United States other than some operational cash. I haven't had any investments or assets in the U.S. for years. Not a stock, not a bond, not a nothing. Should we focus on a narrow niche and ask what their biggest problem is and then provide coaching for that? I already answered that. Okay, I already answered that one. Can you rate my niche, providing custom travel itineraries? So I don't like that offering. You didn't ask the niche what their problem is. So I don't like that part. To 35 to 45-year-old women using astrology. No, that's terrible. I wonder if this Caleb video is really wonder if this is really Caleb or if it's AI generated. If I start like doing this, like Max Headroom, one of my favorite trailers is the original Westworld movie, not the TV show, the movie from the 70s. It's awesome. It says it's a commercial for the Westworld park. Westworld, where you can live your fantasies, the voiceover, and where nothing can ever go wrong. Go wrong, go wrong, go wrong, go wrong. And it keeps going, go wrong, go wrong. And there's like shooting. It's perfect. It's beautiful. I miss the 70s and 80s. Would you book flights with an online travel agency if it was cheaper than booking directly with the airlines and they covered you if you couldn't make their... Yeah, of course I would. Yes, all yes. Yep. What if you don't have a big network? Everyone knows 120 people. You know, if I put a gun to your head and cock the hammer, you can see how long it is I've handled a gun. So I've been in Dubai and Paraguay, in the United States. And it's like, to your head. I want you to write down 120 names. You can take all the time you want. You can Google and go to Facebook and you can take your time. But I want 120 names of people you know. You can do it. What's the best way forward if you don't have a network, cold calling, or guerrilla marketing? Both. Is moving forward with the 9-day business builder full-time faster in 3 months and or to the 10K? I quit my 9-to-5 job. This is no rent or kids. I don't quite understand your question. Yes, if you want to make money quickly, join 90-day business builder. It will work if you do the work. If you do what we tell you to do. If you don't do what we tell you to do, then you might not. If you can play a video in your live stream, can't you play the intro song the same way? But then you'll see a video. You'll see a video, and I guess I could. Yeah, that's a good point. True. I found that as a curveball task come up in the business startup phase, the plan my week tasks from the previous Sunday get replaced with higher priority stuff. Is this normal? Sure, that can happen. Yeah. Yep. That's okay. As long as you're still planning your week and staying on task with what's important that week. How do you feel about OFM on the ground. What's OFM? OFM on the ground in the Philippines or another cheap English country and then going remote. I don't know what OFM is. I'm not cool. You have to explain what that means. I don't know what that means. Do you start spending money to reduce buffer time as soon as you can afford it, or is there a specific milestone that needs to be reached? No, the milestone is as soon as you can afford it. As soon as you can afford it. As soon as your business is making money, where you don't have to do the bullshit buffer tasks, outsource that shit, delegate that shit, and focus more on stuff that makes money. I cringe today because my big thing is scaling over the next year and a half. I really feel like this. I cringe when I have to do work that isn't increasing sales. Now, some work I have to do, but I feel awful. I just like, I don't like this. I'm not making more money. I cringe. I hate it. So I minimize as much as I can. Will AI replace copywriters? Yes. So can't start a copywriting business anymore. Correct. You can't. Don't be a copywriter, please. You'll be destroyed. I mean, it's already replacing copywriters. It already has. No, you cannot do that. You can have a marketing company, but not copywriting. Nope, 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 nope. Can you at least give a range between the price? It's just that I have some money right now, but I am not sure still. Way less than $7,000. Way less. Do you have a way your Alpha 2.0 or Unchained CEO followers can contact each other? Perhaps meet up in real life. On any one of my YouTube videos, there's links to my Telegram page, my Discord server, my Facebook groups. I've got tons of shit. Now, my Facebook groups are down right now because they banned one of my Instagrams. They'll come back in a little bit. So if you go to the description on any YouTube video, you'll see 10,000 links to 10,000 things. Yes. In a live stream, I saw that I saw someone that lives in my area, but I have no way to contact. Okay, I already answered that. How do you respond to a prospect's concerns about no testimonials or reviews when you're starting out? You say, you're right, Mr. Prospect. I'm new at this, and you're the first one. So here's what I'm going to do. Instead of charging you $5,000, I'm going to charge you $2,000. Or, God forbid, I don't like this, but it's optional. Or I'll do it for free. Don't say that, but you could. I'm going to give you a 50% discount. I'm going to give you a 75% discount. Now, here's the deal, though, Mr. Prospect. If we do this, you're going to write me a testimonial letter or a testimonial video on your phone about how awesome I was. That's kind of what you're paying. That's our deal. And then they'll say, okay, great. That's you do it. OnlyFans management. Okay. OnlyFans management is not niched unless it's a very weird type of person on OnlyFans. Number one. Number two, I don't like to start any business that is reliant on a single platform that can fuck me or go out of business. Okay. So many ex-YouTubers, they relied their whole business on YouTube. YouTube changed a little thing in the algorithm and they had a 90% drop in income in 1 week. And I know OnlyFans girls and they complain all the time. OnlyFans keeps changing shit and kicking down their income and they can ban. So I don't like that idea at all. Would wedding planner be a niche? No. If you narrowed it down by region? No. Anyone in the world, not in the world. Anyone in Florida wants to get married? No. Now, if you said, here's a niche, here's an example, and I'm making this up. I don't know if this is real. Pakistanis who are living in the U.S., who get married in the U.S. with a traditional Pakistani wedding, because I'm probably going to one next month, in the U.S., and you're a wedding planner for Pakistani weddings, traditional Pakistani weddings in the U.S., that's a niche. Not anyone in Oregon who wants to get married. Not a niche. Sorry. Would you accept my 17-year-old son, the 90-day business builder? We would. You have to be sure he has follow through. Most 17-year-olds don't, especially today. If he's a diligent worker who does what he's told, sure, I'll accept him. If he's the typical 17-year-old and he'll just join and you'll waste your money because he won't do what we tell him to do. Yeah, sure. What's the max amount of downtime you allow yourself per week? Right now, very little, and I'm violating models that I should be following. I should be taking at least a day off, and right now I'm not because I'm being a bad little boy. So I'm not good at that right now. Soon. Maybe starting January, I'll start taking a little more time off. So I'm being a bad boy right now. Yeah, I know OnlyFans management. I got it. None of you are telling me this. I see. Yes, I got it. Yep, thank you. Caleb, how do you feel about OnlyFan management on the ground in Philippines? I already answered that question. It's not a good idea. I would not start a business having anything specific. I would not start a business that completely revolved around any individual platform, because in the modern era, platforms can go out of business. They can go woke and ban you. They can change their algorithms. They can change how much they pay you. I purposely have built an online presence that does 7 figures without relying on any one platform. You can't ban me. If you ban me off YouTube, I wouldn't make any less money. I don't rely on YouTube. I don't rely on Instagram. I don't rely on Twitter. I don't rely on WordPress.com. I have a WordPress blog, but I don't rely on WordPress because I have a lot of people, peers, business peers, who relied on WordPress.com or whatever, and they got the blogs banned, and they had their YouTube channels banned, and they had their Instagrams banned, and I don't like it. That's why a lot of you a year ago said, Caleb, you should start posting on Substack. I am never posting this thing on Substack. What happens if Substack down the road says, we don't like your stance on non-monogamy or Western class, and they press a little button and delete all my shit? Nope. So I don't like it. Now, if you want to, go ahead, but I wouldn't do it. In this era, in the post-Alex Jones era, where all these companies at the same time can press a button and just delete you off the face of the earth, I wouldn't recommend anything based on any one platform. I wouldn't do it. Wouldn't do it. You can still utilize multiple platforms. I'm on different platforms. I don't rely on any of them. I rely on my own servers. Bad business in a tax-free country versus good business in a high-tax country. Choose one. That's a stupid decision. I wouldn't make a decision like that. I would choose a good business in a tax-free country. Why would I live in a high-tax country? That's insanity. I wouldn't do that. All right, one or two more questions. I got to go. Will you open something like this, but of course, a bit more expensive in 2025, finishing the next year? Yeah, we'll do Business Builder again. This is the last time we do Business Builder, of course. Yeah. I can't tell you about the pricing. I have no idea what it'll cost. Sure. Yeah, we can. You're not going to get one-on-one coaching from me. You're not going to get that. You ain't getting that next year. Nope. You want one-on-one coaching from me, you're going to have to sign up this year. Sorry. Okay. By tomorrow or so, on both my YouTube channels, you will see all the live streams I have planned out until the early January. I have some very big ones planned at this channel. We have a big one next week, is how to build a team, how to build your dream team in your business. Billy will be on that one. She's really good at that. I also am going to do a Christmas nerd live stream on my Alpha 2.0 channel on Christmas Day. So that'll be fun. Yeah. So you'll see those. If you go to my YouTube channels, both of them, in about a day or two, you'll see all those listed out. Okay. One more question. One of my high-ticket consulting clients starting out doing what he was told, then shies away from things out of his comfort zone. How do you push to maximize success? You sit down and have a discussion with him and say, why aren't you doing this? Can you explain to me? Help me out. Help me help you. Explain to me what your hesitation is. See if we get through this. If it's a logistical problem, you should help him fix that because that's your job as a consultant. If it's an emotional problem, you can help them as much as you can, but consultants aren't therapists. And always remember, if you're a consultant, I'm an outcome independent consultant because I'm Alpha Male 2.0 consultant. I don't care if my client does what I tell them. Don't really care. You want to pay me money and do nothing? And you want to pay, we have people in Business Builder. Okay. When I do coaching, consulting, there are some people who pay me money, sometimes a lot of money in consulting, and they don't do what I tell them. Okay. No skin off my ass. Not my company. You want to waste your money? Fine. That's up to you. Outcome independent. If you're outcome dependent, like they're not doing it, tell them, God damn it. So what? Did you get paid? Yeah. Who cares? As long as you did your job and you tried your best to help them. So you have a conversation, try to help them. If he still says, or if he's like a West Coast person says, okay, that's a really good idea, and then they don't do anything, you tried. You did your job. Sometimes people won't do what you tell them. That's part of life. That's okay. Outcome independent. Make sure you get paid. And you're good. It's fine. All right. 90-day bizbuilder.com. You have 1 week. Schedule your appointment. If you're not sure and you're kind of on the fence, schedule your appointment. We are very nice on the phone. Many of you have talked to us. Many of you are in the program. Are we nice on the phone? We're very nice. We don't do high pressure shit. I don't like that stuff. And we'll answer your questions. At least you can get the information. And if you sign up in this round, one-on-one coaching with me, 20 minutes, or maybe a little more if I'm nice. All right, 90daybizbuilder.com. I will see you guys Wednesday at the Alpha Male 2.0 channel if you have an interest. Otherwise, I will see you back here on Monday on how to build your dream team in your business. Cool, cool.